It says I'm live. So, hello you guys. Sorry it took so long. Let me try to get something else open so I can see. How's it look to me?
Let's do like some weird shit right now. How do you undo this?
You like pull on the top. Is it better?
Looks like you're live. Viewers.
There's 92 viewers. Can you hear me all right? Do you have your headphones
Yeah,
in?
you're totally on, man.
All right, well, this is like, I don't know. Hi guys, this is the first kind of test run. Jamie Chong, the owner and builder, I guess, of Sendage, had the idea to do a live stream of the training. I've watched a live stream of actually the UFC fighter, Conor McGregor, on a live stream, and it was pretty cool, so I don't know if this will be cool. I'm just gonna have a rough idea of what I'm gonna do. Jamie's also gonna stream questions and look through the questions so that if you have questions, let me know. I guess I'll just get right into it. Again, sorry we're late. I put links on Facebook and Instagram, so that's about it. Can you add anything, Jamie?
No, you're here to train, so we want to watch you train.
All right, so it's gonna start. I'm gonna do a ground-based warm-up. Then I'm gonna do some Pisces workouts. So it's a whole bunch of stuff with just like bands, mostly just getting your legs and arms ready. I do have like 6 or 7 different workouts with the bands that I normally do, but each workout takes about half an hour, so I'll go look through my list of things. I'll do a bunch of the exercises, but I might not do 3 sets of every exercise, just so you guys can get an overview of it. Then I'm gonna do climbing warm-up on a little wall here, and then I'll do dead hangs and campus board. And just so you guys know, we're in North Vancouver, and this is the Hive North Shore, and they were nice enough to let us use their internet and do this live stream, so I'm gonna get started. I don't know if it'll be boring or not, but there we go. Oh, there's 295 viewers. I guess, are you on the other? I'm gonna try to play this as well.
Lots of people are just saying hi right now, Sean.
Hey guys. So right now I'm actually pretty warm. It's warm in this room and I had a shower, but I'm just going from the bottom. I'm gonna do a bit of stretching. I'm just getting warm so that when I start climbing or doing some of the exercises, I don't basically just injure myself. And as I get older and older, I have to do more and more warm up.
Someone's just asking again, like, what are you doing and why?
So the only injuries I've really suffered as climbers is in my knees. And so I'm just stretching out my whole legs. And the reason why I do this one specifically, going over here, is that I'm rotating it through and I'm stretching out my knee. Only because I've sprained both knees, and it's one of the biggest things I'm afraid of kind of hurting. So I'm warming up my legs, and really I'm just getting comfortable. I'm stretching out. I'm going to stretch my back next. So I'm just going to bring my legs over. I'm just going to crack it a bit. I'll do light stretching on my legs, but really I'm just kind of getting into it. If I jump straight onto the wall or straight into dead hangs, maybe I'll hurt myself. So I'm just moving. It doesn't. You do specific exercises, but I'm just kind of. I do this every time. It's part of my routine. I'm really used to it. So that's what it. Hips. My hips get pretty tight, so I stretch out my hip flexors.
Someone asked if you've done any warm up before you've stretched. So he calls it cold stretching.
I don't know. I had a shower and I was kind of stressing out because we couldn't get the live stream, so I was already like kind of sweating a little bit. So no, I don't do any cold stretching, but I know there's like debates on whether you should do stretching before your workout when you're really cold, or right as you start your workout, or 30 minutes after your workout. To be honest, I have no idea. I've tried stretching after my workouts to actually get more flexible. It didn't really work out so well, so maybe I was doing it wrong, but I don't really know. It's not my area of expertise, we'll say. Okay, well, let's do that. A little bit harder mouthpiece, but.
So people want to hear like what you're, as you're doing your warm up or your like this thing, like they want to hear what you're actually doing here.
What I'm doing is I'm just basically stretching through my arms. So I've taken photos of this one, and I don't actually do it unless I can pin it on the top. But really, it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm just like, I could hang, where I just kind of jump up and I hang, but it's a little bit more aggressive because I'm hanging kind of I'll hang one arm at a time, but a lot of people can't just kind of hang right off the bat. And so if you take a little band, you'll be doing just things where, I don't know, you go higher, but just doing it gets your, I don't know exactly what it does, but it makes your arm warmer, slower, so that if you had an injury or if you were old, you could do this. The tension is really low, and it's just warming you up. So you're supposed to do it for all your different muscles, and I don't do a perfect warm-up. There's people that do even better warm-ups than I do, but I know this works. I know my body. If I start doing this and then it kind of hurts, I'll do a different exercise to warm up that muscle as well. But whenever you're warming up, it's just you're making yourself more and more warm to do what you need to do during that training session. So I'm going to be doing campus board and dead hangs. Eventually I'll need to warm up my fingers a lot so that I just don't hurt myself. That's all I'm doing. And because I'm so warm, I actually could skip a lot of these exercises because I don't really need to do them today. climbers. So climbers, we usually have a very overdeveloped back, which gets us the hunched look like this. And so usually we want to strengthen, I guess, our chest or something else with these exercises to pull our shoulders back so we have good posture. So I've, thankfully for my coach, because of my coaches, I've learned to do the exercises a lot, and so I actually have good posture for a climber, considering that most climbers are very kind of like this. So they do need to do exercises to pull it back, and you can use little weights, but I just don't need to. I don't know. I don't even remember any more exercises. Lat pull down, there's I think I'm just gonna get rid of the clean. So I actually don't have some of my training exercises. I use sliders to do a few exercises for my glutes and my legs. If I pin that onto a post, a solid post, I can do stuff with my legs where, I do like knee raises or heel drags or side to side out here. But I don't actually have anything in this room to attach it to. Usually I go into the other room. It's not important. It was just one of those 6 training exercises that I do. So maybe after I do this, maybe we'll go into the rest of the gym and I'll show you just some of the exercises. But now I'm gonna get my shoes on, I'm gonna do a normal climbing warm up, and then get into dead hangs. Hydration.
Yeah, it's too bad the internet's kind of bad for some people.
Is the
I think it's our internet that's bad.
Stuttering?
Yeah, exactly.
We need to get access to that 5G network that we see.
Yeah, I don't know which building has that.
Somewhere.
Do you have certain shoes that you warm up in versus?
So this is actually a funny one. So everyone knows I wear the Dragos, I compete in them. I will basically not train in Dragos, which is weird because then you're like, oh, but then wouldn't you get used to a shoe that you're not competing in? So I train in the Furias usually. These are the Instinct, and it was because my Furias are in my comp bag, which is already packed for Vail. Kind of weird, but the reason I don't train in Dragos is the same with when I was with La Sportiva and I would only compete in solutions. It's when I put on my comp shoes, my Dragos, I'm a better climber. I feel it, I believe it, and it's a little mental plus that I do, strictly for competing. I feel like a better athlete, I feel more like a ninja, I'm really light on my feet, and I really like Instinct, especially these ones for climbing outside, but I just happened to have these today sitting around my room, and so I brought them. So usually I train in Furias because they're almost the same as the Drago. They're just maybe a tiny bit stiffer. They have 2 Velcros. Are they worse than the Dragos? No, I just really like the Dragos for competing, so that's what I do. The thing with training too is that I train a lot and often that it's something that's so routine for me that I can train in any shoe. I can use chalk, I can not use chalk. It's making me a better athlete, so it's become so routine for me to just train. If that made any sense. Same thing for training for climbing, warming up for climbing, sorry. I'm never going to jump straight onto little crimps like this. I'm just going to grab smaller and smaller holds until I'm warm. which sometimes takes 5-10 minutes, sometimes it takes an hour.
Have you climbed in the Scarpa Booster S's?
What's with those? Those are the ones with, I believe they're yellow and black. Or is that the Boost Stick? I'm pretty sure I know which one it is, but I'm not sure. If they're the ones that are stiffer with 2 Velcros, I'm pretty sure those are the Booster S. And those are what I climbed in for a while, but I think they're better for lead climbing because they're stiff. I don't know if you can hear me over there, but generally lead climbing because they're stiffer, and maybe really good for outside climbing. I haven't been able to test all the shoes, especially outside climbing, but generally for inside, especially if you want to be really versatile, a softer shoe is probably better. For sure for bouldering.
Someone asked, can girls train like this? Can girls do these exercises?
So yeah, that's a good question actually. So yes, they can. Your biggest thing is not if you're a girl or a boy, it's mostly your age and how much your growth plates have grown. Adapted. So I wouldn't recommend this kind of training for anyone that's, let's say, under 16, just because it's really aggressive. You'll see when half a pad to a full pad, and it's only because I've been doing this for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years of dead hang that I can do it for, we'll see, I'll probably try to do it for 30 or 40 minutes. But yes, you can do it if you're a girl. You can do it if you're, let's say, 16 or older, but you should always just start on a bigger hold. So if I'm dead hanging on really small holds, just start on a hold yourselves that are big, that are maybe 2 pads deep or big, so that you don't hurt yourself. And try that for a couple of weeks. And if you feel confident doing that and there's no pain, then you can go smaller and smaller until you get down to a hold that's just really hard to hold on to. And a lot of training is really boring. You climb on the wall, and then you wait. You gotta just rest, and you sit down, I don't know, you wait.
One guy wants to know just more about your warm-up. Like, is it important to force a variety and different types of moves when you're warming up?
Well,
maybe training versus competition. Maybe he's asking about that.
So it all comes back to routine. So my competition warm-up takes me longer, it takes me about an hour. Whereas here I said I could probably warm up in 5-10 minutes if I really needed to. It also depends what you're gonna do in your training. So I'm gonna do campusing and dead hangs. I really only need to warm up crimps. So I'm just trying to get smaller and smaller. I don't really need to warm up pockets because as I'm dead hanging on my crimps, it's gonna warm up enough so that if I dead hang on pockets, it'll be okay. But it's all tailored to what you're gonna do that day. So if you're gonna do circuit training where you're doing 30 or 40 moves, in your warm-up, you're probably gonna wanna do 10 and then 15 and then 20 moves to build up to that. Whereas I'm not doing circuit training today, so I don't need to do more than 10 or 15 moves in a row when I get to that difficulty of climbing. So it's always tailored to what you're doing, and it's always, your warm-ups are gonna be so similar, especially if you're training in the same gym all the time. I usually put my shoes on and I usually go to the same hold to start my warm-up, and I do like, whatever, 3 traverses back and forth, and then I step off, and then based on how warm I am, I readjust, and then maybe I do it again, or maybe I go to my next part of my warm-up, but you're all just, you're just trying to get your body warm to get ready for whatever you want to do that day. And if you don't have a goal and you just want to warm up and boulder or climb, you just do exactly that. You just go harder and harder and harder until you get to your limit, and then you start falling. So I'll probably be ready 5 minutes maybe. We'll see how I feel on this go. Lots of viewers now? I looked and there was like 600 maybe.
Yeah, it's like hit around 700 at certain times. Sean can't see what you're saying, but I can.
Sean can't what?
And people are asking if they can see what the comment threads are going. Like, people are just saying random shit.
No one can see the comment threads?
No, they can. Like, it's just going on, like, beside the video, right?
Yeah.
Some guys are totally trying to troll too.
You definitely gonna get that.
Hey, I just talked to Mosh when you were here.
How's it going?
Okay.
Just so you know, we are live.
Oh,
No, it's okay.
yeah,
Come on.
sorry.
Good to see it.
Yeah, it's fun to say hey.
This is my tattoo artist. What do you know?
This is Ian, right? He's got a tattoo
3-point tattoo
Yeah.
in Vancouver.
How you guys doing today? Just train like mad?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, first time we do a live stream, so I'll do dead hanging, but I'll make sure I can see it before I go.
Yeah. I don't mean to keep you guys. It's good to see you, Jimmy.
Yeah, you too.
You guys have a good one. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Live stream in progress.
How many hours do you train? Well, they ask per day, but say how many hours do you train per week?
So on average, I train 10 to 15 per week, which yeah, you may think is not a lot, but sorry. 10 to 15. But when I come to train, I'm training. I don't fuck around. I don't go on my phone. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not texting people. When I come to train, I train. I have stuff to do. So usually my sessions are between an hour and a half and 3 hours. And 3 hours is rare. Maybe 5 days a week. And then when I get more into lead training, I do double sessions. So 2 hours in the morning, 3 hour rest. I go home, I eat lunch, and then I come back in the afternoon and do more training. It's also not only about how many hours you're in the gym training, but your efficiency. So I'm probably not even the most efficient, but I know I'm very good. So let's say I'm at like 90% efficiency, where some people that go to the gym, they're like talking to their friends, they're being social, and that's not a bad thing. Climbing is really about being social and being with your friends. But when I come, I'm here to train. It's like another day at the office. It's not that I don't want to socialize. I just know that if I socialize, I'll just need to stay at the gym longer to train. So when I was growing up, people knew that I was really focused, and yeah, maybe I was not as, what's the word? Like I didn't want to talk to people because I'm training, and so maybe I was kind of an a-hole sometimes, because it would be like, I don't have time to talk to you for 10 minutes and then do all my training. So sometimes it comes off like that, but I don't mind talking to people when I'm training, especially when I go to new gyms. I actually like it, but when I come to train, like if I wasn't doing the live stream here, I'd be training, I wouldn't really talk to people for 2 hours, and then once I'm done, yeah, I can go out, have a drink, go out for lunch, or see my friends. So I'm warm now. I'm gonna start dead hanging, and I don't know if we can pull the table closer, or...
Sure, yeah. A lot of people are just saying thanks a lot for doing this. They're pretty psyched on it,
Yeah.
so that's good to hear.
I didn't actually know how many people would tune in. We started the stream and he was like, all right, 30 people live. And I was like, okay. So I guess, yeah, there's a couple hundred people. So yeah, it's fun. If it's cool and people really like it, I'll do it more often. And what I've actually is I sometimes watch people online stream video games just in my downtime. And I think it's pretty cool. You're connected to your audience. And so this time, yeah, I'm doing a live stream with commentary. Other times, if it picks up and people really like it, I'll probably do live streaming without commentary, and then you can see what it's like when I'm doing training, like really seriously, where I'm not answering questions, and maybe it'll be boring for you guys. You just watch me like actually focus in training, but yeah, we'll see. I'm just gonna.
Can we get set up here?
Yeah. I guess
Does this
we'll
need
just
to be?
go.
Does this need to be?
No,
like,
not
close
really.
this?
You can close that one.
How about this?
Yeah. Just like here.
The sound's really good, so because it kind of echoes in here.
You can go down a bit. I'm only gonna be on the pretty low ones.
I'll move it as you do it.
Oh, and I can even use my phone as a timer.
Yes. There's some other good questions here. I've kind of missed them, but I'll go through them and ask them.
I can kind of find them, but. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for the next, say, 24 minutes is dead hanging. So I do one hand dead hanging, minimum 5 seconds, or else it's too hard for me. Maximum 15 seconds, or else it's too easy for me. Then I do 5 to 15 seconds with one arm. Then I rest for a minute, or whatever a minute minus whatever I hung for. So I go every minute for the next 24 minutes, switching hands every time. So if I hang for 15 seconds, I'll rest for a minute 45 before I do this hand again, and in a minute or 45 seconds, I do this hand. And I'm starting with the worst grip, so right away it'll be the hardest thing, and usually it takes me 2 or 3 minutes of dead hanging, even for my fingers to warm up 100%. So I might start on something a tiny bit easier just to get into it. And this is the most aggressive form of dead hanging that I can come up with and that I can do. So this will be a warm-up one.
Someone's asking, what advice would you give to someone who can't train by actually climbing, but to keep their strength up? So they have an injury right now. So how can you still maintain your strength through?
If you're injured in your lower body, you can still do upper body workouts, making sure you never fall on it. Like if you have a leg or and if you have an upper body injury, super. I can only do 8 seconds, which is like pretty low. Maybe I'll get better on my second try, but that's cutting it pretty close. And then if you have upper body injuries, I don't know. I've had hurt tendons in my ring fingers. I don't really know what to do if you have an upper body injury. I mean, the worst thing for an athlete is, in my opinion, is to be injured. So I would really try to, as you feel like you're getting injured or before you get injured, really evaluate what you're doing at training to maximize the chances that you don't get injured. If you do eventually get injured, especially in your fingers, your arms, definitely see a physio, definitely do really long warm-ups. This is one.
Those holds are small, guys. Sean's hanging off that with one hand. That's awesome.
You can measure it. So about, actually almost a full pad. Almost.
How do you, so when you are trying to progress in difficulty, do you add weight ever, or do you just go down in hold size?
I've tried adding weight when I was really small. Like, I guess I was actually 14 or 15 and 16 when I started doing these, but I don't add weight anymore. Mostly because we never add weight in McColl. So I want to actually go smaller and smaller on the holds rather than adding weight. I'm sure there's an argument against that, so that you could add a little bit of weight, maybe 4 or 5 pounds. I just know that it's so much easier to get injured when you add weight, so I tend to stay away from it.
That makes sense. Like, because you're competing so much, you really want to make sure you don't get injured.
So you'll see, I'm a little bit worse on my right side. And I put my finger here, and I'm not actually taking up any weight. It's only stopping me from spinning. Because as you're on your weaker side, you'll start spinning one way or the other. So if you stop your spin, it's just a tiny bit easier. Because with on my left arm, you'll see that I can do it almost for 15 seconds, and I don't have to stop my spin. Back to the weight thing. I don't know. If you're on really big holds, I don't see a problem with adding weight. Because you're using a lot of your bigger muscles, like weighted pull-ups, sure, do them, especially if you can do 10. If you're struggling to do like 3 or 4 pull-ups, I don't think you should ever add weight. You should get better at doing your own body weight pull-ups, or even take weight off, and then progress towards adding weight.
So guys, Sean said it at the beginning, but if you're wondering where this is, we're at the Hive North Shore. It's in North Vancouver, BC in Canada. So Sean's here visiting, and he's on his way to the Vail World Cup next week. So he's just here visiting friends and family.
I like doing that hang. Solve a Rubik's Cube for every 45 seconds that I rest.
Do you do dead hangs with the elbow and the shoulder relaxed, or do you try and do them with a bit of a lock off?
That's a good one. This time I'm doing full shoulder unengaged. Maybe I'll do the other one after, just for comparison. But here it's fully unlocked. So if I was going to do a pull-up, I'd have to go and engage my shoulder right away. Oh, I think it's unlocked anyways. So if I hang like this, the first thing I would have to do if I do it is to engage my shoulder to go up. But I'm actually I'm not all the way down. I don't feel it pulling here, but I'm gonna go back there and I'm not going.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I'll do another maybe I'll do it on my second or third set. But so right now I'm full like this. So the second one is just like this. So a tiny bend, but you're fully engaged. So if you wanted to do a one-arm pull-up, it'd be much easier from here than all the way at the ground on the bottom. Then I also do 90s, and then fully locked off. And I'm really bad at locking off. Really bad.
Are you left-handed, or are you stronger on the left side?
Yeah, I'm left-handed.
And your left side stronger too, like your whole left arm and everything?
Supposedly my right leg is stronger because I'm left-footed, but because all my fine motor skills have always written with my left hand, I throw a baseball, maybe that's why. I don't know, I play piano, which the left side is much stronger when you're playing the piano, whereas your right side is much more technical, which is kind of weird that I'm left-handed like that, but so be it, I guess. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that was 3 on each side. So I'm going to go to the next size dead hang now. And if it's too easy, I'll go back. So the difference is
let's go take a look.
2 millimeters.
Some people are curious to see what the holds look like, I guess.
So they're the wood grips. So there's only 3 different wood grips. So this is the first one that I was on, the first one. So I'm just dead hanging 4. I'm strong on 4. Like that. It's about a full pad, maybe a tiny bit less. Now I'm on this one, which is definitely a full pad, standard full pad, and my pads are whatever, about that big. And then I'll go to this one, which is again, I don't know, 2, 3 millimeters bigger. And then this one I'll be pretty strong on. And then we'll actually try these, which no one really has, but it's basically like, I don't know, it's like 30 grit sandpaper. And so I'll be doing that on 7, 8. And I don't know, I'm just always better on my left side. I don't spin. I can hang a tiny bit longer. A lot of people do have a side that's stronger. You try not to let it affect you in competitions. So I guess if I was jumping to a hold, I'd be better jumping and catching with my left. But then if I'm ever doing a jump where I go and I'm jumping, catching with my right, I never say that I'm going to be weaker on that side. I just say that I'm going to have to compensate more with my bottom hand because I don't dead hang quite as nicely on my right. It's a weird way to think about it, but confidence, I guess.
Oh, there's over 1,100 people now watching. That's awesome. So someone asked, what age should you start doing this type of workout? And Sean mentioned it earlier.
Probably about 16, yeah. So when you're younger, like, kids start climbing pretty early these days now, like 6, 7, 8. They can still do conditioning. They're just not going to do dead hangs. Like, getting kids that are that young, they can still try to do pull-ups and push-ups, but realistically, them being able to dead hang or do pull-ups is not as beneficial as, footwork, different kinds of holds, dynamics, being able to conserve your momentum, and then even on top of that, it's better to just be good at more different sports. So I played soccer, rugby, basketball, volleyball. I wasn't good at basketball and volleyball, but it's still fun. And it made me just better as an overall athlete. You get good hand-eye coordination, you get cardio. If you're only climbing, you'll get pretty good at climbing and hanging on to holds, but there's so much stuff in climbing that you don't learn. Like, the biggest one is hand-eye coordination. How much hand-eye coordination is really built in climbing? Yeah, you have to be able to jump, you see the hold, so your limb has to go out to it, but just catching and throwing a baseball, you'll learn so much more, especially when you're young, like 5 to 10 years old. you learn so much more just in these movements of things moving and catching, that if you're just overall an athlete and then you find climbing and you want to excel at it or you want to get better, you're going to have that really good base. And it's why I can try to do different things in climbing just by seeing it. I see someone do it and I'm like, oh, it's like a jump or a pogo or a triple clutch, and I guess I'll get more in details about those, but I see it and I understand the movement, and so I can try it right away.
The next question, a lot of people are asking about your grip strength, or not your grip strength, but your grip position.
Yeah.
So like they're noticing
Yeah.
that you're always using like the same position of hand, and do you train other positions?
I do. This is my strongest though. So there's different grip positions. There's a four-finger open hand. There's four-finger closed hand, with or without thumb. And then there's a froggy grip, or three. This is my strongest, 4. So when I'm dead tagging, especially on the smallest grips, I always use my strongest grip. But then I also, yes, force myself to, and you'll see it after, I do it after, but I will force myself to do a full crimp because I'm actually quite bad at that. I rarely train three-finger frog because I'm almost stronger with the last 3 than I'm in the middle 3.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's because I've always, I don't know if it's like the length of my phalanges or something weird.
Shit, I gotta plug this thing back in, the battery's dying. Totally sucks the juice, I guess.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that was 6 on this one. I'll go to this one, but I think it'll actually be too easy. So I might go into something else. So we've been doing it for 14 minutes. I can definitely feel it in my fingers. Not like close to being injured, but if I went and tried bouldering right now, I'd be worse. So a lot of people will ask, well, okay, a World Cup in a week. Is that enough time to rest? And so the short answer is, for me, yes. For a lot of people, no. For a lot of people, it would take longer, especially if they're aggressive. Actually, it's totally fine. A lot of people wouldn't be able to recover, but because I'm actually really used to doing these types of workouts, in the months of January and February and March, I would do this workout 3 times a week. And I would try to climb the day after, and I'd be worse, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just starting my season, I don't have any comps. I'm basically tired for 2 months, but I'm gonna do this today. I was planning on doing it tomorrow, and then because I do it 2 days in a row, I'll rest for almost 5 days until Vail. Just with two days in the middle where I warm up. I do a full warm up. And then do like 1 hard boulder problem and then cool down. And that usually tapers me really well for the World Cup.
So like, do you consider this, someone's asking, do you consider this like maintenance training? Is it because you're competing so much, or do you think you're actually getting stronger as you're doing this kind of thing?
So do I think I'm getting stronger? This will actually make me stronger. And then tomorrow, so for 2 days. The recovery time is quite fast for me, so I can recover in 5 days, but my strength gain will only be beneficial for about 2 weeks, or 1 week. Whereas when I do it at the beginning of the season, I do this 3 days a week for 2 months. The recovery period is almost a month, but then I'll retain that strength for 2 months. It's not that quite exact, I don't actually know the numbers, but the longer you train something specific, the longer the recovery period is, but then the longer you retain those gains. And then the other way is that, yeah, if you do it for 1 day, you can recover pretty quickly, but you're not going to be strong for as long. And that is science.
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 Someone, big capital letters, so that helps. I know Sean hates that. But I'll ask you anyways, because it's a good question. It's related. So like, do you do roll-ups ever in your training?
Yeah, I'll do that today.
Cool. So it's part of
I learned that from Daniel Woods, actually.
Nice.
He's one of the best I've seen. There was a video of him like 8 years ago, where he was on a full crimp, and he did it so easily, but like full roll up. And you'll see if we bring the camera in pretty close. I'm not especially good at it, but I'm pretty good. Like I can get by, but it's really aggressive. I would say it's even more aggressive than what I'm doing, because you're going through a range of motion. I don't know. Actually. Just thinking, I was like, can you imagine if it was just like bang? It was like ripped the tendon.
it. Blew a tendon. Yeah, everyone hears it.
I feel really good. Like it's not gonna happen, but it'd be ironic. Yeah, the roll-ups the guy was talking about is even more aggressive than dead hanging, because you're going through a range of motion and you're still hanging. So a one-handed roll-up is not possible for me. I'm sure some climbers out there can do it. So I do 2, and I'll do that after the 24 minutes.
So all you guys in the comment feeds going like, roll up, they're all trying to, like, as you're doing it, they're, but he's gonna do the roll-ups later, I guess.
I don't think I can roll up. So I start at the top when I do a roll up, and I go full crimp, and then I roll down into this, and then back up. But you can see your hand is moving like 2 centimeters, and you're at 100% weight. It's like, and then you can go even further, where you're moving like 5 or 6 centimeters. You go all the way down. But maybe it's also the way that I grab it. Like I grab it like this. I start like this, and I go down to here. But I can't get further down in here. If I go all the way down, I can't actually roll up back on my fingers. So I only go to about here. So from here to here. Okay, so I'm getting really tired now. So I'll do, just one more left hand. And I was going to do 24, but then I'll just go straight into 2-handed hangs. And I'll do some roll-ups. And maybe at the end I'll finish with minute hangs with 2 hands, which is hard. And that's the one that gets you pumped. And you do it 3 times in a row. I'll do that maybe at the very end. And maybe I won't, because I'll be doing campusing after. Alright, say 2 more. No, I'm going to do 2 hangs now, right?
Yeah.
So I said? I think you can find it actually. Up there.
I can't go closer right now because I have to stay plugged in.
No, I'm going for the other one.
I know people are asking me to get closer because otherwise the phone will die and then you can't see anything.
That's good. I need the adventure. Oh yeah, that's a good one. So this one,
I guess I can carry the laptop over. Let's try this.
So these are going to be really small. So this is what I'm going to hang out with 2 hands. So it's about almost half a pad, and they're sharp. This one's sharper, but I'm going to do both. But again, 2 hands. I might even throw in full crimps for these, because I'm weaker at full crimps. You can see it too.
Oh, man.
So I try not to, when I jump down, I try not to let it like cut my fingers. I really try to let go, but.
Is that the moon board? Okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Have you ever popped a tendon or had a major tendon injury?
I've never popped one, but I've had tendon issues in both varying fingers when I was about 18 or 19. So after doing the other 18 or 20 minutes or however long I did that, it's a lot harder to do this now. So I'm probably not going to do full crimps anymore. I'll go back open, but I'll probably only do this another 4 times. I'll swap back and forth. Maybe do some pockets, slopers.
You're going to be doing some dynoing later? Or like campusing, I guess? Like dynamic movement, I guess?
I guess I could do that. Maybe I don't do that and I jump straight into that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because then I could do campusing tomorrow and then only dead hanging today.
Yeah, if you guys, well, Sean's doing this again tomorrow, so if you are totally psyched on this, like you can watch this training session and then tomorrow will be something, well, same idea, but just different training.
So I want to do abs after this, so that I can do abs both days.
Can you do abs with your shirt off? I'm joking, guys, I'm joking. There's like one total troll in here, it's hilarious.
Controlling the cat.
Yeah.
It's probably a competitor. So that one I was engaged, which I'll probably do more engaged ones now that I'm a bit tired.
What do you do? Well, there's a couple of questions about kind of recovery, so like skin recovery, so like just dealing with skin issues training, and then also like do you use other therapists like chiro or physiotherapy?
So
Do you take advantage of that?
Because the Canadian Federation can't afford that, I will go and do physio or something if I really need it, but I won't just like go just kind of every week like a lot of the other competitors do, just because it turns out to be kind of expensive. So if I'm hurt, for sure I'll go and do it, or if I need it, but like after this, nope, basically don't do anything. Your skin, I do have pretty good skin, but I don't know, I've tried climb on, I've tried climb skin. I haven't picked one that I really like more than the other, but it's mostly when I get like flappers, and it's also a lot more when I'm climbing outside. So with climbing inside, usually you just get calluses, and I don't know, I have pretty good skin, so I'm not the best person to ask, but
Do you use any sort of like creams or anything like that, or?
no, I don't use really anything. If I get a cut, I do put like some sort of cream that they have in France just to make it heal faster, but nothing really for the actual like to get better calluses or. Oh yeah, I'll try 3 fingers, but I'm not very good at this one. Ugh. Alright, not doing that one again. We'll try pockets. So I've done 26 minutes of this already, so I'm probably only gonna do like 4 or 5 more hangs, but usually I try to get creative. I try to find like the smallest crimps that I can hold on to, or pockets. If I had slopers in here, I would do it, so maybe I can jump up on one of those.
Well, what about the PVC things? They're too bad.
I'll do one-handed on these. But it's really hard because if you slip on these, you just like break your hand off. Seven seconds. Not bad.
I think maybe tomorrow people want to actually see you climbing out on the main wall. We can do that.
Try.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of volumes here. There are not any volumes. Oh yeah, I guess we probably should do it.
What's the dip joint and a pip joint? I don't know. Do you know what that is?
A dip joint and a hip joint.
He's asking, do full crimps, he's asked a bunch of times, so do full crimps hurt your dip joints? Does an open-handed hold hurt your pip joint?
So I imagine the dip joint might be this one that goes backwards. Because in a full crimp, this part.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's good. I wouldn't say it hurts. Maybe I'll do it 2 hands and an open grip, but I can only hold on for just barely 5 seconds, so I'll go to another one. So dip joints. I'm not a fan of full crimping because it uses a little bit more energy, and I don't like ripping off like a little bit of skin here. And always when I'm crimping, it always rips down. So in a comp, if I need a full crimp, you can actually push a little bit further. If not, I'm always open hand like this.
So in training, you'll use open hand. You'll
I
do
open hand
training.
95% of the time. With training as well, with competing as well.
It's 20 after 11. Yeah, good call, Jan. This training, it can be boring, right? This isn't a competition. Here to amuse you guys. This is here to just give you insight on how Sean trains and maybe give you some ideas on how you can apply it to your own training. But we're not here to entertain you. Do you ever take pain medication when you have an injury?
Nope.
Like I'm guessing like Advil or something like.
I would take it after the comp. I knew I wasn't going to be climbing, but I've taken Advil before like a round, and then I got injured because of it because I couldn't feel the pain. So.
Yeah, I guess. Right, you can hear your skin sticking to that grip tape.
Okay, I kind of feel like doing it right now. Alright, that's not bad. So that's half an hour of every minute, 30 minutes. 30 times, alternating hands. So now, like, I'm tired. Could I call it for the end of my training? Probably. So now I'm going to move into core workouts because, yeah, it's your core. You can do it on the ground. I'll probably do levers, leg lifts, banana boats. We can go get a medicine ball.
Yeah, I can grab some equipment if you want, or you can just go grab it. Take a quick break if you need one.
I'm going to go look to see what I can find just to do more abs, but yeah, I'll probably end up doing levers. I can probably take suggestions just because abs is just, as long as I'm doing something that's contracting my abs and I do lots of them, it's gonna work on something. I'm pretty open to that as well. So.
Yeah.
Come up with something.
Sean's just going to get some equipment from the other room. He'll be right back. Where are you going to do it? Like just right here? Or?
Yeah, I guess it's good. Because here I can do levers. I can do
Oh yeah, okay, I'm going to back up in this.
maybe even a little bit from the side. Yeah. You can plug in your computer too. Is it okay?
I think so. If you do it on the furthest bar, it'd be better because otherwise it's too close.
This one? This one? This one?
Or even the one with the red bar, or with the red thing hanging off it.
One of my favorite ab drills is with the ball. I'm gonna do it a second. I'm just gonna do levers to start. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. Can you see okay?
Yep. So I'm sure a lot of people are impressed by that. Like maybe you can suggest how you can progress towards the front lever, like how you can start super easy and work towards doing a full lever.
Yeah, so...
It's just different things you can do, right?
Yeah. The first thing is, it actually is pretty hard to hang for even that long. But you start, and I'll just do it right away, it's actually quite nice. You start by doing knee raises. So, really, actually you can start by just stopping your momentum. So right now I'm not moving. Whereas a lot of people, they jump up and they're kind of like swinging. So the first thing is if you're swinging a little bit, you use your abs to stop your swing. So you're not moving. And then you look like a gymnast. So the first thing after you do that is just knee raises. And then try to stop your swing. So when you do knee raises, you start to swing a bit. Alright? So if you stop your momentum, just knee raises. To about here. Go a bit higher if you want. But this will start it. And once you can do these pretty well, you go into leg lifts, which is just your legs go straight out, like this. And then you can go up as high as you want. So at least to 90. And I can already feel it because I'm doing it so slowly. You can go higher. I'm not very good because my hip flexors are not the most. Take a rest and I'll keep explaining. When you can do those quite well, it actually almost even helps if you do it on the rings, because the rings, you're always working on the stabilization, so it's not just one axis, I guess that's called. But for the actual front lever, next, you bend your knees, but you'll go and you'll hang upside down, and you'll actually lower into the front lever. So the reason why I think that's easier is because then you're always fighting against gravity, which is pulling you down. Just contract your abs, so you try to stop it at flat, but you just miss it, and you keep going down. You're still going to be working your abs on that, the movement. So eventually, you'll be able to stop it. So I'll show you what that looks like.
I heard something like creaking. Stupid tripod. Sorry guys.
So next part, after you can do leg lifts, I guess it would be this, but I'm going to go up and I'm going to bend both knees. So you can see when I did it, I did a full lever, then I bent one knee and did a lever, and then I bent the other one, did the other one. So this is the next progression. So you go up, underneath for this, and you bend your knees.
Oh, we're still good.
Is it offline? Is it good?
I think just when we moved over here, like the Wi-Fi is shittier over here.
Well, that's good. But are you on LTE?
Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, we are.
And then eventually you're just going to lower straight down into a lever. It's the best I can come up with. And then once you can lower into a lever, then you can start going the other way, but it's a little bit harder to go from the bottom up. And then a lot of what people do is they try to go too high, so once they're good enough, they'll start going like this, and then they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go straight into a lever. So they go and they plot, and they go too high, and so they fall, and falling is the hardest part. So when you're learning, you want to bring your legs up into the front lever, but you never want to go higher than where you're going to hold the front lever. Because if you go higher, as you fall down into it, you're actually putting more weight than in your legs because of gravity and acceleration. So you want to pull up and just stop right at flat, or wherever you're going to hold it. So you come up, you want to stop right there. And I'm already really tired now, just explaining all that. What else? That's it.
What was the one you're gonna do with the ball?
Yeah,
Is it where you-
I actually can't do much more.
Okay.
It's just I'm doing the ball is just a normal yoga ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a plank, and then I'm actually just rolling out. And so the levers, it really works on like your middle abs. So these, I'm pretty sure they work on much of your lower abs, kind of towards the top of your leg. And I was told once that it really works on that like line that like that goes like here. And so I was like really psyched on like making it look better, and it's all about goals, right? So again, a good plank, and then I'm going to roll out. So it's easy here. I could hold this for a couple minutes, and it's really hard as you plank out. So I'm going back and forth, and then I'm kind of just doing little rolls, and then sometimes I hold it on the end. So you're almost in a full, but then I just do this for 20, 30 seconds, and then I try to hold it
Yeah, so these are just different variations of planks to, and it also works your shoulders and everything too, right?
So really important about these exercises too is as soon as your lower back arches like that, you have to stop because you're putting too much pressure on your back and you'll actually injure your back right away. So when you first start these, it's hips, it's really hard to explain. Hips up like this, where you're, so if you go like this and you get the arch in your back, you just stop. So you really need to rotate like this and you contract your abs, but you need to stay in this position as you're doing it, and if your back falls, then you stop the exercise. So hips up, butt tight, glutes tight. You're just pulling it. Go back.
Hey guys, I might as well show my face while Sean's going to get some water. So I run Sendage.com. My name's Jamie, and I'm going to give away some hats. I got a bunch of them, so I'll deliver them to you guys and wherever you are in the world. All you have to do is just sign up at Sendage.com and log some sends, and I'll take the next 3 people that do it, starting now, I guess. And I'll look you up and figure out who you are and get in contact with you. So yeah, go sign up, get a free hat. It's like 11:30.
Half an hour. I'll do probably another 10 minutes of abs. And then, yeah, I could do a bit of bouldering or... Usually when I do dead hangings, my sessions are not very long because it's so brutal on my tendons and just my strength that I did a half an hour training, and it's the equivalent of like bouldering for 2.5 hours, I think. This one. This is a 16-pound medicine ball. So I'm gonna sit on my butt and I'm gonna just go back and forth. And so what I like doing for a lot of abs is not only one directional abs, because a lot of the times you'll be doing some jump and you'll jump sideways and you need to hold the swing sideways. So yeah, you can do lots of front levers and it's great. I can always like plank back and forth, but you want to be able to kind of move. So it's really good to do lots of conditioning, but you also have to be able to boulder or climb roots or I guess whatever you're doing it for. But
For the guys signing up on Sendage, make sure you log some climbs too. You don't just sign up. Like actually use the site. But I'll look it up after, guys, and I'll get in contact with you. Do you ever do negatives to prolong your training session?
it's a negative.
Well, I'm guessing like just cross training, like non-climbing specific muscles or not.
I think that's what I do with the bands, which I kind of touched on at the beginning, but I think negatives. That's bad. Because I actually played soccer and was a pretty good athlete during my developmental years as a climber, I didn't need to do as many, I guess, negative exercises as if someone only climbed that they would need to do. So I already had pretty strong or athletic legs. I could always jump. I had a pretty good vertical. So when I started climbing, I never needed to work on those things. But now that I've actually stopped playing soccer and I don't do any really other sports a lot, I do lots of leg exercises, and that is the bulk of my cross training. So like knee raises with the bands, a lot of like squatting, side lunges, front lunges, just a normal squat, usually with a nice peel-off hold. So it's where you're holding, I guess the peel-off position is like standing up obviously, but like this, and then I use a band which pulls me sideways, so it works a little bit on my abs as well. And then I do lots of lunging, box jumps, down jumps, a lot of stuff with my ankles. And it's just, I've been working with, in Victoria on the island, and they actually built this program for me. His name is actually Chris Hinton, and it is basically a cross training for climbers. So it was kind of fine-tuned to me because I'm pretty good in my legs, but even I need work. I need to build my glutes up a little bit more. And so he built all these exercises that I'm supposed to do every day for 6 days a week. And the only reason I don't do it is when I'm in season, because I don't want to get too tired from it, and I don't have the time. Did that answer the question? Did I do negatives?
No, well, they clarified a bit, so we're learning some stuff here too. It's when you're like slowing things down or lowering down. So if you start like I guess like a pull-up locked off and then lower down into it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to. I don't do almost any of that stuff anymore. Maybe people would say I should, but
well, clearly whatever you're doing still works. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with explosive power, and I'm not bad at locking off. And my biggest weaknesses in climbing are okay. So I'm actually pretty inflexible on my wrists. That's a fun fact, which has actually hurt me in a couple comps this year. But I'm at a point in my career where I work on them a little bit, but it's not something that I need to. It's not like I can't do the dyno, where there's some people where the vertical is only, I don't know, half a foot, where they actually really need to work on that, because then they'll get to the jump and they can't even touch the hold that they're trying to hit, let alone actually stick it, and then maybe they have a foot movement or something. So it's not detrimental to my I guess climbing career.
And then someone's asking, I guess maybe they just want to see other stuff, but like, do you do the same workout all the time, or how do you vary your workouts?
With dead hanging and campusing, it's often the same workout, so the same 30 minutes on different types of holds. With campusing, I get a bit creative, but I have a set of different campusing moves, I guess that I do. And yeah, I come up, I can be creative. I invented a few different campusing routines. But for abs and for like bouldering, I'm actually really open. Like, that's why I said, like, if you guys suggest ab things for me to try or do, I like doing it just because then it's new. So it's going to be really hard for me because, like, yeah, I can do a front lever for like 15 seconds. But it's not that it's not hard, it's just that I've done front levers for so long and I like doing them. I like how it looks. I like making videos of them, that it's kind of easy, at least for the first 5 to 10 seconds. And then, yeah, after it gets harder, but it's like a whole bunch of ninjas that I've watched, that I follow on Instagram. They do like front levers, like you did a front lever going up an escalator on the side thing. So stuff like that, it's just it's pretty cool.
Do you ever do any sort of interval training?
I used to, but not anymore.
But not actively?
No.
Now people are just asking you to do like stupid human tricks.
I could probably start doing some. Like what?
Well, we don't have rings set up here in this
Nah.
in this one, so people won't even see you do like an iron cross.
I actually can't do the iron cross.
Yeah.
I tried a little bit, but there's like a really big technique involved, and it's too hard on my elbows, so I wouldn't even try if I could. And after like, I don't know, I've been training for about an hour and a half now, like I'm tired. You're not gonna go and do something really, really aggressive right now. You're tired in your workout, I need to rest. I could rest for 3 hours and come back and do another session, but I'm gonna rest for the rest of the day and do this again tomorrow. So tomorrow I could do campusing again, or I could do dead hangs, I could do climbing. So this is what I say, when I'm in season, I can do anything I want. I am trying to maintain. I'm not doing things too close to the comp, like in the 4 days before the comp. It's gonna hurt me. I usually take 2 rest days before the comp. For Vail, because we're at altitude, I'll only take 1 rest day. But then the day before, I'll do whatever. I keep it versatile. It's not hugely important what we do as long as you know it works for yourself. And I've competed for so long that I know pretty well what's good for me.
So for a beginner climber, someone's been climbing here for about 9 months, and he's wondering when is it okay to start training on with the campus rungs and doing, in his words, crazy tendony stuff.
It really it matters on what grade you're climbing. So if you're only climbing, V1, V2, to get to a V3 level, you don't need to do campus board. You probably need much more work on fundamentals of climbing. So footwork, body position. You need to be able to read the boulder. We'll say boulders, but really it could be anything, a route. You need to be able to read them better. So one thing I'm very adamant about is watch other people climb. Watch people that are worse than you. Watch people that are better than you. It doesn't matter. You will look at someone climb and you'll say, okay, I think I'm going to do that move where I put my foot out there and then I pull and I go to this hole. Watch someone worse than you try it. Do they see that right away, or they do something that's maybe worse? And then you look at a professional climb it. Do they do what you thought you'd do? So if you're watching a World Cup competition and you haven't seen anyone on the boulder, you preview it, and then if all the World Cup climbers do it as you preview, you probably did it the right way, previewed it the right way. Whereas maybe even if you preview it differently, in bouldering comps is you get out to the boulder and you have 5 minutes, but you're all alone. You don't get to ask your friend, you don't get any help, you don't know what's a heel hook. And if you read the wrong sequence and you don't question it or you don't adapt, sometimes you just can't do it. And that's why the grades in the boulders, especially in the World Cups, are so irrelevant. If you say you're a V8 climber, that's good, you can probably do V8, and that's actually really good. But can you do every V8 in the world, in any style, in 5 minutes? And that's like the biggest question that I get is, they say, what's the grade of the World Cup boulders? And I'm like, well, it's a range. Sometimes they set a V6 slab that no one does, because they all read it the wrong way. Everyone thinks it's a jump, when really you were supposed to like lean left and like go into a starfish and then like magically stand up on tiny footholds, and it's all about problem solving.
People are wondering, where are the roll-ups? We said earlier.
All right, I'll do some roll-ups.
Come over with you.
Where are the roll-ups? Because I actually did a pretty good rest doing abs, I'll start on the worst ones actually. So I did the first 3 well, and then I used momentum on the last one. So if you really can't do it, you use a tiny bit of momentum just to get back up, and then you roll back down. But like I said, I'm not super good. I'll do the medium and the big ones. I'll just rest.
Alright, you take this tripod off. Can't see shit.
You can do like lashing and back and forth.
It's funny comments. It's awesome. Guys, like that.
I wonder
It's
if,
like about fruit roll-ups.
I wonder if the comments get saved in the video. So this one's a lot easier. You can probably do this for
Yeah, he's pulling his.
It's all about doing it at the same time, at the same speed. Because if you go like this and you do one and then the other, I could do that almost like I could do that all day. Because when you're like this, if you go down, if you just go up and then you go up again, you're not doing what you need to be doing. It's all about going up at the same time at a steady speed.
Okay, just a heads up here. I guess Facebook only allows you to do an hour and a half of live videos, so we got like 3 minutes left. So maybe if you guys want to ask some last minute questions, we can just do that. Or if you guys want to see Sean do more stupid stuff without, we don't want to injure him. So, but yeah, we only have a couple minutes left before we have to sign up. What are you gonna do for the rest of the day?
It's my buddy Chris Laurie's 30th birthday, so
Shout outs to Chris.
go out. Yeah, shout outs to Chris. I think they're go-karting right now. Maybe paintball, golf. Go out, some drinks.
Can you do a one-arm pull-up? And
Yeah, I can. You wanna go do it?
yeah, we all know you're stronger in your left arm. Can you do it on your right? 3 in a row. That's
Fine, 3. Not bad. Especially after what I've done.
Someone's asking, do you drink during the comp season?
So definitely not every day. Because it's my buddy's birthday, yeah, I'll probably have a couple drinks, but no, I'm not gonna go get loaded, especially a week before a comp. It is really important what you put in your body, especially when you're training. And I don't drink a lot, especially in season. Usually it's at the World Cup after parties, but you know, it's really important what you put in your body. So yeah, today I make an exception. I'm back at home. I'm with all my friends, but if I ever thought that it was going to be detrimental, especially to the competition, I for sure wouldn't do it. So, all about choices. Oh, I have a big one too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is. How long are we at?
Oh, yeah, if we're done, we're done. Let's
Just
we can
sign off?
Yeah.
What time is it?
Almost 12.
So
Talk about tomorrow, I guess.
I
Maybe.
guess we're gonna finish. Definitely, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, I answered a whole bunch of questions that you guys liked. We're gonna do it again. Tomorrow it's gonna start at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is what, like 8 p.m. in most
It'll
European
probably be,
cities.
we'll probably start a bit later.
Yeah, okay. Let's say we'll start at like 11:15, 11:30 because we had issues with the internet today. But yeah, 11:15, 11:30, something like that. If you have some questions, save them. I don't know. I don't think I'll like open up like. Yeah, you can send me a message and I'll try to answer it on the stream. But I hope you guys had fun. Hope you learned something. It's kind of a new concept, so definitely tell me what you think of it. Maybe like comment on the video or on Instagram or something. And definitely thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys.